Teardown Tuesday, and yes, I'm actually letting some people watch this live, not through my live cam setup yet, but through my new dropcam. There it is, up there. So hi to everyone watching at the moment. I've got one of these new high definition drop cams. It's a Wi-Fi webcam that hooks up to and streams live to the net. So the link is down below, eevlog.com/live, if you want to watch me 24/7 when I'm here anyway. So I've turned the mic on. Ordinarily the mic's not on, but anyway, that's an aside. So I'm not sure how many people are watching me at the moment, but anyway, here we go. Teardown. I scored these just the other day from the dumpster room. If you're following on Twitter, I posted a photo of these, and what they are is a digital PABX system. Obviously, someone in the building here has decided to move out or replace it or shut down or whatever, and they've dumped all this here, Panasonic and MC stuff. So what we have here is a digital super hybrid system. It's a KX TD816AL, and this is a TVP 100 voice processing system. And so this voice processing system has inboxes and things like that. So it's got 64 voicemail inboxes. So I expect some digital recording stuff inside this. And this is the actual, and I believe this NEC unit down here is the actual line interface unit. It supports 2 lines with 6 digital extensions or something like that. I'm not really big on my PABX system, so someone with more knowledge might know how all these things work and go together. I'll post links down below anyway. And then this one is the hybrid system itself. So this digital super hybrid system here, it's designed to hook up to these digital super hybrid phones. You may have seen this before. I got this from the dumpster a long time ago. I think I may have even included it in a teardown or something. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so obviously throwing these away back then. That was a long time ago. That was like 9 months ago or something like that. But this is one of the units which hooks up to one of these systems designed for, sort of a medium size office, maybe with, because it's 64 voicemail inbox, this one, so up to 64 users with their own voicemail inbox. There were multiple versions of these NEC line interface units down there, so they could have had many lines with different switching. In fact, they probably would have. There were about 4 or 5 of these down here, but I only nabbed one of them because, well, some of them had their guts spewed out all over the garbage room floor. Anyway, let's crack these open and have a look what's inside. I suspect lots of combination of dip, and I'm not sure what vintage these are, but probably dip with some surface mount technology. Lots of digital recording. I mean, this one's a voice processing system with those 64 inboxes. I expect there to be, digital recording. What's going to store it in? Some SRAM, SD-RAM, something like that, I suspect. So that'll have some decent processing in it. This will be like a live interface type unit, and this one here, digital, the actual phone system itself, I'm not sure. This looks like it's got some sort of modular things on the top. I don't know. Anyway, let's crack it open. There you go. That's how a teardown typically starts. I didn't bother being on camera. But sometimes I just couldn't be bothered. By the time I set it up, I've got to set it up over in the camera, the tripod up in the corner, change the mic to my shotgun mic over, get there, probably have a good, a t-shirt on. I don't always wear those to the office. I do, but I didn't wear one today. So, whatever. So I just, some people complain if I'm not on camera for various things, but well, it would just be the intro clip. That would be pretty much it. So I'm not too fussed about it. And yeah, I didn't learn much about these things, so I am kind of talking out my ass. I know they're a PAVX, I know how many lines they got, and that's about it. So, so the first one is this digital hybrid system, KXTD816AL. This is like the main controller, made in Japan. Beautiful. And yeah, as I said, it looks like they've got like some modules on the top or something like that. And along the bottom, they've got RS-230, old school RS-232 interface. They've got a paging output, so that'd be an audio output. External music, so you can feed in your music if you're on hold. Crap and stuff like that, normal, clear. So there you go. That's the that you can actually clear the system, the firmware and stuff like that. And to reset system, make sure clear switch is on. That's just like a 4-pin Molex connector or something like that. And 240 volt in, and that's it. And clearly, this port here is designed. These are like the interface modules. So this port here looks like just covers all the cables coming out here. So it looks like they wire into here in the two modules, and then all the pairs come out. Actually, I expected more I/O than this, but it's just got things that says 2CO and PFT ports over here. So yeah, not much at all. And then this one over here will be exactly the same. So I mean, you know, for a big system, you probably need multiple units of these. So they've got some screws on here, and I expect these modules to just pop off the top. And it looks like everything just, you know, these things are designed for servicing and access and stuff like that, because it's just got screws in here, and these just pop open like that. Now these ones aren't held captive, but the other ones were, and got nice little springs on those too. Nice, I like that. Yeah, and there's a hinge on the back here, so this whole cover, well, there we go, whole cover will just lift off, so it looks like it don't even, although there's boards in there. Let's start out with these ones on the top. Never find my screwdrivers. There we go. Still something over here. Never put it back. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do, well, I don't peek at stuff before I lift the hood up. So to get that, otherwise it probably might sound fake, my like astonishment, or you know, if there's something really cool in there, it might sound fake or whatever. So I don't want that to come across. So I just don't peek. So here we go. Let's pop the hood on these, and well, no, fail. I undid the screw, and oh, there we go. Good. Look at that. Nice. Okay. That's beautiful. Huge multi-weight ribbon cable coming out of there. Check out the ferrite. check out the size of that bloody ferrite. That is enormous. Absolutely enormous. Trying to do some EMC there. And this is, what is this? It's a 4CO line unit. There you go. So hence we had those 2 ports each. So I presume we can just, no, it looks like we have to pop this hood on here. Hey, here we go. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, this is interesting. Check out all the plastic is yellow, by the way. Oh, I thought it was a big power. Power button. Yeah, the old plastic like this turns yellow. So this could be substantially older. It could be because it heats up, which will do it even sooner, I believe. Oh, I can see some gas discharge tubes down in there. Anyway, yeah, look, here's our lines. So yeah, CO 1 and 2, 3, 4, external line 1, external line 2, 4. Update. Hence, we had the 2 4-port units. So this supports 8 CO lines. And there we go. So we should be able to whip those out now. Nice and modular. Really like that. That is terrific. Yeah, look at that. Look at that big ass ferrite up to that. That's for sure. Just realised I forgot to do photos. Forgot to do photos, which is really annoying. Sometimes I do that. I haven't got much time left. I was hoping to cheat here and put them back on. There we go. I'll try and get some shots. I'm always running out of time to do this sort of stuff. .1-inch header there for the door phone, and check it out, caution, do not remove this cover except qualified personnel. Well, I'm broke off, look at that, hey, the ROMs, there we go, you can change the ROMs on the sucker, obviously, but you know, you've got to update the firmware in these things. Had to look up a data sheet there. This is why these things take a long time. I have to go back and forth to data sheets. Sometimes I use my tablet here, but I'm not going to do that today. And here's just a little module I pulled out next to those ROMs there. Check it out. Looks like we have ourselves a 16.384 megahertz oscillator here. Looks like a fairly schmick one, and parts that you've never heard of. Mitel networks, unless you're in the trade. MT 89. 41 BP, and I looked that up, and it is a T1 trunk PLL chip. So there you go, that sort of stuff, and there'll be a whole bunch of telecoms related chips in here which you wouldn't recognise the part number. Bet your bottom dollar. Okay, let's pop the hood on this 4-line CO unit. I still don't know what CO stands for. I don't know. You have to probably read the manual or be in the know, in the trade, to know what that sort of stuff meant. But there's a lot of engineering which goes into these suckers. This whole thing. I mean, how big is the design group at Panasonic that manufactures this? There we go. There's our line. That's what you expect. You expect all the line interface stuff. We've got relays, got gas discharge tubes. Look at that. Yeah. Now we're talking. There we go. Looks like we've got ourselves a neon lamp too. They're quite common for on the phone side of things for protection. So, and gas discharge tubes, L. They little inductors there. Got some mods by the looks of it. So a whole bunch of protection stuff for all that lightning, because when you've got these sorts of phone systems, even though they're not, they're usually all internal. Oh no, this would be the one. No, these would be the ones. These would be the line interface units going to the exchange. So yes, they do leave the building. So these ones, lightning could strike or whatever, surges, all sorts of stuff. So, fault and other equipment down the line. So you've got to make sure that all this is protected. And you'll notice these neat little custom hybrids there with something on the other side. They're probably like, no, relay, it says. It's marked with a relay there. So these are little, maybe, little solid state relays or something. Weird. Yeah, try and buy those or get a data sheet on them. it's actually a Murata part, so your odds might be a bit better than usual. Anyway, I had a quick Google of that, couldn't really find anything, but yeah, that's interesting, especially the big bulge on the other side. Look at that. You can get a whole bunch of useful parts out of these things, and if you can ever salvage something like this, I think we're going to find lots of useful stuff. Look at these, top quality Omra and relays. We've got some NAIS and solid state relays here. You get like the inductors you can rip out of these things, and little mini transformers, little telecoms transformers. Very nice stuff. Just some big ass filtering on there, 2200 microfarads, 16 volts. So it's not like a super cap, but that would, possibly keep this thing alive during momentary power outages and stuff like that. That's what it's there for. No, actually. There's a big ass filter cap on here just sitting out there on its own. Some 2200 microfarads, 16 volts. So it's not a super cap, but it is a big beast of a cap you wouldn't ordinarily expect to see on here. So it could be for, momentary line outages or something like that, or really just some heavy duty filtering for the relay switching and stuff like that, just so it doesn't interfere with all the line and audio stuff. And here's the back of the board. Check it out. We've got a whole bunch of surface mount stuff on the bottom. So they've gone wave soldering, of course, on the bottom. You can tell they're wave soldered and not reflow soldered those pads. It just looks entirely different. Got a lot more solder on there. So these have been glued down and then gone through the wave solder process. Of course, they're serious about shielding these things. There we go, big shielding plate on the bottom, and then this big, it's not mylar, it's some really tough insulating film on there, just to make sure nothing arcs over, nothing's going to arc through to the grounded shield. Alright, now let's pop the hood on this thing. Couple of fuses here, line fuses. They've got line and neutral line fuses. Yeah, double fuse there. Really going to town. And I find it's always interesting to know things like screws, for example. People don't think about those, but think about the designer of this thing. Somebody, whoever designed this, had to, hold this case together with a certain kind of screw, and then what screws are you going to use in this one? Well, you've already specified these in bill of materials, so exactly the same ones are used to hold these modules together. I just find it's interesting to note that sort of stuff. I like to throw those little asides in there and just under my head. Hope there's still people watching. Don't know why. It's much better to watch the finished stuff. Probably, some people will watch it first. They like to see how I shoot the videos. The idea is, plan is to have, once the live stream computer, which is what I was working on before, it's down here and there. Once it's up and running, I will, I'll have my second camera set up here, so it'll be it'll be right near the action here, so you'll be able to, I'll be streaming that live, and that'll go to YouTube, hopefully, so, alright. Okay, let's lift this thing up, and really connect the thing there, and I think it's going to come out. Ta-da! Oh, we're in like Flynn. Look at that. Yeah, once again, more line interface stuff around here. Big ass mains transformer there. And looks like we've got a big super cap under there. And anyway, yeah, let's have a look. I was planning on doing that photography bench I was talking about, and you know, so I could really do some good high-res photos of these things. But by the time I set them up, you know, like it'll be over in the corner there, and I take this stuff over, photograph them all properly, and bring them back. It's just easier to get a few happy snaps freestanding. I've got enough light in here, so I can shoot it at 1/60th of a second, so, you know, hand shut, so I don't have to mount on a tripod or anything like that. So I don't want to waste too much time by actually photographing these things, because only a small, relatively small percentage of people view the photos, so, you know, it's not a huge thing. Now, the first thing I notice here is all this grounding system. Look at this. They've got a big central plate, or a couple of central plates here, all tied together, all crimped, properly, shake-proof washers, everything. The transformer down here, this one goes down to this transformer, and also up to here. And this is this has got like little fingers in there, so they obviously, like something like a grounding stake or something, plugs into the outside of this. Oh no, sorry. No, that goes through. I'll show you. No. Check this out. There we go. Here we go. There's the matching, there's the case on top, and there we go. It's got a matching tab, so this slots directly down into that. Very nice. When this lid goes on like that, that's just beautiful. That is beautiful design. I really like that. And they're serious about their ferrites too. They've got more there and there. There's another one up there. There we go. So, you know, they're not mucking around. And more ferrites on the ribbon cables. Look at those. There and there. Whoa, belt and braces. And they've got good quality Rubicon caps in there. Only 85 degrees C though, although I'm not sure, you know, these are designed for office environments, things like that, to be installed inside typically. So, you know, not a huge deal, and probably, not, at the end of the day, not a huge power consumption on these things. So we've got ourselves our switch mode down here, big heat sink, all largely spread out, looks really good. Here's these two line fuses on the top. We've got one in the active and the neutral lines. They've gone to the effort to make their own plastic body to hold those in place and bring them up. And they've gone to the effort to do a big plastic standoff here for this. It's not even a power button, it's just a power LED. And they've moulded that into the case and brought it out and screwed it in and moulded that plastic cover. And, oh, goodness. in some part numbers. And there's the main micro. You probably haven't seen before, Toshiba TMP68301, and it's a 16-bit micro. Couldn't get a full data sheet, just a basic pinout and block diagram and stuff like that. Maybe it's big in Japan. Who knows? You'll notice though that the board layout, this is actually quite common to get these 0.1-inch headers around here. So this is for development and debugging. They can plug the emulator directly in there and debug all the code and everything else. So this isn't most likely like a flash microcontroller with your serial interface that you're used to. So they need really old school sort of emulator and development system for this. And we've got our first glimpse of the date code to 01 to 2001, so about 13 years old. There's another one in here, 02, so maybe 12 years old, something like that. But the design, probably even dates back further than that. And that front door interface over here we talked about before, well, that's got a Mitel chip you've never heard of. It's the MT8981. It's a digital switch specifically designed for PCM encoded data streams. And in this case, it's multi-channel up to 128 64K bits per second channels it can handle, split up into several parts. So 32 of those, there's 4 of them, and 32 of those channels are combined to form a 2 megabit ST bus. So I'll link in the data sheet for that one for those interested. And just back to this top daughter board here with this line interface stuff, these are the lines which go to our digital phone here. So these are the ones which go internal. And you'll notice that it's not external line because there's less protection stuff on here. You know, there's really nothing in terms of like major protection. I don't see any, you know, there's no mobs on there, there's no spark gaps or anything like that. So clearly designed to be sort of in-house internal line wiring. So don't need a huge amount of protection on there. And yep, I just realised that was wrong. I didn't see something, so I'll just redo that one. Actually, no, I'll probably just scrap that one, take that out of the edit. There's not too many of those. And once again, the back of this daughter board got surface mount stuff on it, you know, fair amount, and it's all wave soldered as well. I will redo that one actually. I just noticed something. So let's have a look at these inputs here. As we saw before, these are the extension lines. So there's 8 extension lines here. These go to the digital phone that we looked at. So these are all the internal wires. So you'd expect less protection on these internal ones because, you know, it's not like you're going to get a lightning strike inside the building or something like that. Whereas the outside lines, these CO lines, there's 4 of those. So let's have a look at how that translates to 8 and 4 over here on the daughter board. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh no, sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8. So there are 8 line inputs, and you'll notice that all that circuitry around there for those, there's really no major protection around those. So there's no gas discharge tubes, there's no mobs or anything like that. You know, there's not that huge requirement. Whereas these ones down here, which handle the 4 incoming lines, which go to the which actually, go outside the building to the exchange, then, well, here's your 4 channels here. I have like two on each connector there. So once again, you've got your big gas discharge tubes here, and you've got your mods as well. So, decent protection on there, and you've got your line isolation transformers too. And then these here are your individual channels. Once again, you've got 8 of those for those 8 internal lines which go to the phone. So, yeah, a couple of nice little tiny pitch surface mount parts down in there. Have to get in there, take a look. But obviously, is that like another line isolation transformer, perhaps? And then maybe some line drivers, something like that. Here's a pain in the ass bit where I can't read the numbers. Really annoying. So I'll whack my macro lens on here. First time I've used my macro lens in today's shoot. But often I'll take this lens on and off 10, 20 times sometimes during the shoot, because I see, as I've said, I shoot everything in sequence. So that's how it works. So now I can get in there and read the chip as well as shoot at the same time. So that's all handy. just printed something out. Often it's easier just to, you see, I wonder why I don't like include screenshots in the edit and stuff like that, screen captures. It's just quicker and easier to print out and stick it in front of the camera than it is to when I get to my editing machine, download the data sheet and and then screen grab it and then crop it and everything and then cut and save to the directory, cut, paste, insert and all that sort of jazz. It's just easier to do this. So there's a Japan radio called MJN 319. It's just a dual comparator. The interesting one is over here on this side. Ta-da! We have ourselves an NC14LC5480. Let's go to the data sheet. And then I can just whack the data sheet here and talk about it and poke to things and do that sort of jazz. Much easier. Much easier. But I've got to take the macro lens off. So off it goes. And I'm ready to talk. As always, no idea what I'm going to say. I'm just going to hit record and something comes out. So this is a real interesting part, and as always I'm linking the data sheet. And what it is PCM codec. So it's basically got a DAC and an ADC in there, and it's also doing some filtering as well, like it does sine X on X stuff and companding and all sorts of stuff. To convert, there's the receive. The receive line well, it's the DAC, it's the output line, but I guess they've got R receive because that's the labeling on the other end. Anyway, transmit here, the T, which comes in, and this comes to the ADC, so I guess they're named based on the phone end, and then we've got some filtering ADC, and the transmit shift register, all this sort of digital side, all goes to your microcontroller. So there you go, very nice little chip. Does some pretty advanced filtering, DAC, ADC, all in one, custom design for these PCM type phone applications. And we're talking about a linear 13-bit ADC as well. It's pretty serious business. We've got some really nice descriptions here that are worth reading, and there we go. To digitize, intelligible voice requires signal to distortion ratios of 30 dB over a dynamic range about 40. This may be accomplished using a linear 13-bit ADC and DAC. Well, that's a pretty hefty DAC. So what they do, excess performance per data sample. Two methods of data reduction are implemented by compressing the 13-bit linear scheme to compress pseudo-logarithmic 8-bit schemes. So there you go, the two companion schemes are New Law 255, primarily that's North American standard, and A Law used in Europe. So all those into your phone systems will know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, and it goes on and on. So this is rather interesting reading. And this big beast that all these codecs feed into here, I mean, good luck getting data on that. I suspect had a very quick look, nothing popped up. So yeah, like there's no manufacturer, probably some sort of custom cell device, custom ASIC, something like that, combining all the individual voice streams into something that the main processor and everything else can actually manage. then the rest of it, there's another custom ASIC chip here. It's got a different number on it. There's another ROM, so that's probably some sort of processor, something like that. We've got some system memory over here. Curiously, we've got a big SuperCap here, plus we've got a battery backup. So real-time clock, so the SuperCap, maybe, I don't know, designed to keep the processor running so it can shut down gracefully. Who knows? And there's the wave soldering arrow for all the dip parts. They put them through the wave soldering. I'm not going to bother to take this board out. There could be some surface mount stuff on the bottom, don't know. But anyway, yeah, as always, the direction of arrow shows which way this board should travel through the wave soldering machine. So there you go, that's what's inside a main PABX controller that controls 8 different phones with 4 incoming lines by the looks of it. So let's now go have a look at that voice processor, which presumably attaches to this system as all part of one big system optional. Of course, you don't have to get the voicemail service, but let's take a look at that. There's going to be some digital recording in that sucker. So that one's done, and I might capture this video because it's been recorded, auto-recorded for a week, so I can capture it, take out a clip. I might actually upload it to YouTube. Voice quality is not going to be that great, but anyway. for the TVP100 voice processing system. KX TVP100. Oh, exciting. So let's lift the hood on this sucker. And once again, cabling on here. Exactly. Dead spider. There we go. Yes, like all products, this one has bugs. So there's really not much in here at all. There's not much in the way of cable access. We've got two ports here on each of these cards in here, an empty module slot here. Not sure what's supposed to go in there. There's no cable gland holes for the cables to come up or anything like that, so maybe that's just some sort of management or some board maybe that sits in between those or something like that. But anyway, let's pop the lid off this sucker and see what we got. I'm going to want to finish this one up soon. Got my strata meeting at 5:30 and I want to edit this before then, so don't like my chances. These are nice. These come out as little 2-card modules. Look at that. Really quite neat. Got some surface mount stuff, double-sided load, and we've got all our usual line interface stuff there. I don't see any huge protection devices in there, so presumably they're not going to outside lines. They're just connected to the other device internal, and this is all just held together by our headers. So let's rip that apart. There we go. So we've got a line interface board. Oh yeah, there's a couple of little neon lamps in there, so a bit of protection there, but like nothing, no big gas discharge tubes for lightning strikes and things like that. So obviously only internal connection through to the other unit. We've got some sort of custom processor up here. It's got some, well, it may not be a processor, it may just be something. It's got some memory attached to it, but yeah, don't even bother looking for the part number for that. So some sort of interface board which takes the data stream and encodes it and decodes it, because you've got to not only record the voice coming in, you've got to play it back as well on command. So all of the voice and data and all the control data goes through here. Hello, that looks for all the world like a hard drive. Aha! Have they forgotten to erase their stuff? Who knows? We have all the company's phone calls. Whoops. Oh, look at this. Toshiba hard drive, very old school. Is that a date code 97? No, it can't be that old. Plastic, check it out. Toshiba, 5-volt IDE interface notebook hard drive. Could still read that. Although you've got to expect it to be a proprietary encoding scheme. It's not like they're running Windows and this is going to be like a fat file system or something like that. Probably, I don't know, but it would be worth hooking up just to see if it was actually readable. And I guess with hindsight, well, the hard drive is the only thing that made sense. I was hoping that, we'd be able to get, some really big-ass digital recording hardware in here, but you can't beat, a consumer hard drive for, bang for buck in terms of that storage. So, really not surprising. So there's not going to be anything too huge in here. No, in fact, it's boring as. well, sorry to disappoint, but that's all she wrote, really. Yeah, it's all the magic's in the hard drive. We've got this, looks like that same 16-bit Toshiba processor again, and we've got the ROMs for that. Another custom chip up here, which once again has the, oh, there's a live spider. Live spider. He's over there. He just ran. Here we go. I'll provoke him. He just ran under there, but yeah, there are all his cobwebs. So, he's in there somewhere. Look at that. Live spider. Woo! Yeah, so there's really nothing. And the only thing interesting here is this MT8952. It's the HDLC protocol controller, and it's basically formatting data in the X25 format. Nothing fancy. Look, 96 vintage, 38 tweet. So nothing. That's pretty much it. Not a huge amount of stuff. And you'll notice that this micro custom ASIC or cell device over here also has that debugging emulator interface over here. So obviously, designed for, they would solder on the development boards during prototyping and development, and debugging, they'll do that solder headers on there, and then they'd be able to tap in there and emulate that chip. And you'd leave it off, and then you can tap right into it. Excellent stuff. You've got to design that stuff in. Otherwise, it's a real dog to do these. It's an essential requirement back in the day before, well, everything's got an in-circuit serial programming header these days, but hey, for these types of things, no way, Jose. That's the only way to do it. And last and maybe least, we have ourselves an NEC Zen Alpha. So this one's very curious. You know, there's like a mains cord going into it, and basically, you know, jack all. There's one cable port, and that's it. It's an empty box, and something rattles inside. Let's lift the hood on this, and presumably this NEC gear interfaces to the Panasonic. Oh, got ourselves some Yazoo SLA batteries there. They would have seen better days, no doubt. But anyway, out they come. And what else? Phone cord and some sort of interface board, no idea what that's doing. And metal plates, yeah, this thing's just been hacked. There's a serial sort of port and a couple of plug-in boards, and well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of line stuff down here. This is an interesting hodgepodge, actually. There's, you know, not as well sort of designed or thought out as the other ones, really, but anyway, we've got some line stuff happening over here, presumably. Yeah, there's the CO again. So we've got with the CO1, CO2, and then 6 ST1 through ST6 external speaker. Maybe that's for a PA thing or something like that. Yeah, well, this could be an entirely separate unit, perhaps. Nothing to do with the Panasonic system, maybe. Oh yeah, I was able to get like the spec sheet for this thing, and yeah, it seems to be like a complete PABX solution, nothing to do with the Panasonic, and the manual is just as hodgepodge as the design in here. Look, you know, they're sort of non-symmetrical, and everything's just sort of, you know, random connectors placed all over the place, and I don't know, it's just these vertical riser boards, and, it's all about how you do it. Not that impressed. Anyway, yeah, it's like got a couple of main line inputs. No gas discharge tubes there that I can see anyway. So not nearly as much filtering, not nearly as much line protection as we saw on the Panasonic anyway. But yeah, I don't know. This one's just a bit crusty. These boards are all over the shop, but this is something familiar. There you go, Hitachi HAS. So, you know, that's pretty familiar. IDT 507201s, and we've got some serious flash happening there. And you know, that's, yeah, who knows what that board does? And then there's a whole bunch of other boards. Look at these. I mean, yeah, all right, this one's got battery backup. Oh yeah, we could go to town, but nothing hugely interesting happening here. So that's a that's a CO expansion one. Or was that this one? No, here we go. This is a CO expansion one, so it gives you a couple of extra lines. So yeah, nothing exciting. I don't know. I've seen it all before in the Panasonic. Is that a Tamra? What is that? I don't know. Google that part number. I doubt you'll find anything. But obviously some sort of main system processor, something like that. And here's what I'm talking about, salvaging parts. There's an excellent 3-watt isolated DC to DC converter, 24 volts in, plus minus 12 volts out. 3 watts, you definitely nab that. That's the thing with these boards. If you've got the room, you'll just keep all these boards in a box. So if you're desperately short of a part, on a weekend, you know, and the electronic shop's closed and you're working at midnight or something, you definitely need a, you know, a 200 volt 33 mic electrolytic cap. Yeah, it's old, but you can rip that out and reuse it. So there you go. I won't go into any more detail on this NEC unit. Video's probably gone long enough, but there's a look inside a couple of typical PABX systems that you'll find in a business. You know, quite old ones, sort of, you know, 10, 15-year-old sort of voice systems, but typically these stay in place for a long time. So they probably bought these 10 years ago and installed them, and they've been using them for a decade ever since. So, you know, only now that they've moved, or maybe they have upgraded, maybe they're, you know, moving to all VoIP-based systems or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, old school PABX is not too old school, but, you know, relatively that sort of, you know, mid to late 90s, 2000 type vintage technology. Anyway, I hope you like that turnout. There are some high-res photos of this. They're always linked in on the eevblog.com website. And my little dropcam camera has been recording this, so maybe I'll actually try and extract the data from that, and you know, you can have a look at that. I'll post that on my Alt Zone channel if I do that. Certainly won't go on this main channel, but hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time. And that's it. All done. All done and dusted. Woohoo! And it's 4:30. I better go here. I've got a strata meeting tonight. On the strata committee for the building, so I better go and get ready for that. So I've got to edit that. That'll probably take an hour, but I've got to pull stuff out. It's all too hard. Anyway, the main thing is getting content in the bag. So, yep, another one shot. Beauty. See ya.